All right. Sorry about that. I think my screen was lagging there, guys. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle. And as always, we're going to be diving into the crypto gaming markets. Everyone in the market right now is screaming pullback. Well, I'm going to let you know that I don't think that this pullback is going to last. I'll give you my logic on that. We'll go over some of the tokens that are still performing amazing, some big announcements in the market, and then maybe a couple of things to potentially look at for some DCAs today. As everyone's screaming pullback, we'll take a look at it. So without further ado, let's get in the game. All right. And as always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm seeing someone say scared money don't make money. If you're scared of these pullbacks, that is a fact. All right, guys, like the video and subscribe. And a quick shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Seedify. We have Amino Rewards. We have Dreams Quest. We have owned.gg. XCAD Network and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 sponsors on the show, as well as Real Fever Organya. So we'll go over some of our sponsors here near the end of the show and some at the beginning of the show, because some of them are absolutely crushing it. I'm seeing great sentiment in the chat. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is crushing it. I'll go over actually why I think it's going to continue crushing it. I got some alpha last night out here at Art Basel Miami too to share with you regarding one of the sharper looking games in the space. So without further ado, let's just jump into the main narrative here and really just cut the fat on the show and jump into, is this pullback real? Now, here's what I'm going to say. When you look across the market and when you look across, let's just say Twitter, crypto influencer YouTube, and the thumbnail here does say buy or take profits. So first and foremost, you're never going to go wrong taking a little profits. So if you're taking some profits out of the market, that's what you should be doing. And I want to set you up for success here. You're only as good in the market as what you walk away with, not what you let that number run up to and then fumble it away. So first and foremost, it is okay to take some profits on a position if it 500%, if it 1,000%. But I think a lot of people in this market are getting scared. This pullback, they think this pullback's going to be real. Well, look at this. People have thought the pullback was going to be real when we hit 28, when we hit 30, when we hit 32, when we hit 36, when we lingered at 36. They thought, oh, this is the top. And now we crushed through 40,000 and went right to $44,000 on Bitcoin. If you think this was just going to be an up only market, if you thought this was going to be just, all right, here we go, we're going straight to 50K, that's just not, that's just not really how this market's going to work. It's going to try to shake you out. The ape in the chat, they're trying to make you uncomfortable to hold these things. And I'm seeing what pullback exactly. In my opinion, don't let this get shaken out of your positions. Do not get shaken out because people are so concerned with a pullback. And, at the end of the day, taking profits is never going to hurt. Okay. But I am the type, I'll leave some in the position and I will absolutely let that materialize until the full blown bull market. Okay. So let's jump into some of the tokens here that are first and foremost performing amazing in this market and have some big updates. We called Beam here. We called Beam right around here in this area a couple weeks back. This one has basically 2x'd in price since our entry here. And this one's a larger market cap. Like it just hit $1 billion fully diluted. This one right here, I mean, this one's ripped. And as far as the market cap goes, I am surprised it has doubled in market cap in such a short time period. But yesterday they announced something pretty big. And I had been likening that Beam and IMX will end up probably being pretty similar regards to size and scale in the Web3 gaming space. And then yesterday, 𝗪𝗏𝗡 partners up with Immutable and Polygon, joining forces in a united front to take the gaming industry by storm. Together, we're stronger. Together, we are charting a bold new path for the future of gaming. So this one's interesting. you know, Beam, we did crush this call, that's for sure. And I'm going to hold on to this one because I do think this one's going to materialize into much larger market cap whenever we do hit that full bull. So I am still holding my position there. And I'm still, you know, like Seedify, goodness gracious. You know, it's funny. I tweeted this yesterday and I'm like praising, you know, like Seedify is a sponsor here. And I've been a big fan of Seedify for years. But it's funny, like I'll tweet this and then people in the comment sections will be like, just now calling this when it's up 6x. But the IMX, you know, the in the game fam here knows I have been calling this token since 50 cents. I have been, you know, we were getting in way down here. We were positioning you guys to get the bottom on this token. And honestly, like my tweet here, it rings true. At the end of the day, this is the easiest supply and demand trade in crypto. Like market goes up, Launchpad ramps up quality launches, investors want early access. They see the X's that other people are getting off of this. And then the investors buy and stake Seedify. Like this is by far the easiest supply and demand play in crypto. So shout out to anyone who's gotten in on this. But to be honest with you, this market cap, I mean, I see this as $1 billion plus easily. I see this as $1 billion plus easily. And I'm seeing some people calling out GameStarter. You know, on the show yesterday with Ran, we called out a couple tokens that I deemed had some growth potential. We did say GameStarter, you know, they're a pretty solid launch pad. They're building a lot of things in the background with the business beyond just being a launch pad. You know, this one took quite a bit of a run ever since launch pads are really in the scope here. And then Honeyland yesterday, you know, over the 7 days, it's up 46%. We chatted about this one as well. Solana Gaming really heating up. And we also chatted about Crown by Third Time Games. This is photo finish game. This one also has performed very well over the time period. So these are the 3 calls we gave yesterday, which, you know, turned out pretty well. Now, let's move over to some more news and updates. And then we're going to go into tokens I deem to still be good DCAs and buys in this market today. So first and foremost, Myria. Myria, they have been building in the background for a lot. You know, they're doing some tests for their games. They have their node ecosystem. A lot of games are coming to build on the platform. The blockchain's getting a little more efficient on their website, their layer 2. They're updating their node prices. So the entries here have changed. If you haven't gotten a node entry and you want to just print tokens passively, like for example, I have nodes in Myria. I have nodes in playable games. I have nodes across multiple ecosystems. And it's a very easy way potentially to pivot some profits into these and then let them stack in the background. So check out that new pricing model if you have been interested in the nodes there. And then on the Launchpad front, I gave this alpha on the chat yesterday with Ran. But right now, Citus/Senate, so Citus Heroes, they are putting out a vote to make a launch pad on the Citus platform. Now, this is big in my opinion. We are seeing launch pads crush it. So Seedify, you know, absolutely killing it. GameStarter, Engine Starter, Paid Network. These are some of the ones that are just really doing well in this market. So whenever you look at something like Senate, which is pretty, it's like 3-4x undervalued, the fully diluted of the Citus token. I think this is the play in the ecosystem still. I think even this run that it's had is nothing compared to if this gets passed. So it's a governance vote. And if you look at this, they are looking to launch a dedicated launch pad. Fundraising involves in staking Citus tokens, and the Senate tokens play the crucial role in green lighting the approval processes of these projects that come to the launch pad. So that's definitely something to look out for. I've seen a lot in the chat today about Katana Inu. We did call this one, let's see. We called this one around these prices. It took a little bit of a dip, surprisingly, and then it's really been ripping. It's up 55% over the week. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat talking about 𝗙𝗿𝗄𝗄𝗆. I really like what they're doing. 𝗄𝗄𝗆, I think, has a lot of potential. And when we get to the watch list and some of the things I deem to be pretty good buys in this market, you'll see what I have to say, okay? Because I think there are some games out there that just haven't run as hard as others, and we will talk about that here in just a second. I'm also really looking at these key levels on playable. So we got into this one way lower than this. So, obviously do your own research, risk tolerance on your own. But right now, over the month, the all-time high here is 0.0098. It has been retesting. These levels, trying to push to 1 cent. I truly think it's going to get to 1 cent. It's just a matter of time. So I'm looking for this to hopefully cross that 1 cent mark, because once it does get that new all-time high in, I think it could push up from there, because it's really been sitting at these resistance levels, but it's been strong. So this is interesting. What a comment there by Alex Wells in the chat. Okay. So shrapnel. I know a lot of you guys are interested in shrapnel right now. I took initial today from, so we did give it lower, Ice Boy. We gave Katana Inu first on Dylan's show. You are correct. A little lower entry there. So that is about 100% on that position. Shrapnel. So this one, I was at the team house here in Miami last night. The sentiment around this game couldn't be higher. The amount of people that are just so high on this project and that have played it, that have given good feedback, the team. What I'm seeing right now for Shrapnel is, there's no unlocks for a few months here. And if you were to compare this right now to a Big Time's fully diluted valuation is upwards of the higher 3 billion mark. Okay. Like $3.5 to $4 billion on the fully diluted. So that's pretty high, but I think Shrapnel could have a similar run. And here's why. Big Time has 3% of the tokens in circulation. So what does that mean? That means it's much easier to pump in this market because there's not as many tokens circulating. It's on all of the exchanges, Coinbase, Binance, and as 𝗬𝗓𝗍𝗻 says in the chat, he's totally correct. Shrapnel has not hit these exchanges yet, and they will. They have the budget. They have the legal team. They know this token isn't a security. They're navigating this very well. I think that this is definitely going to ramp up as the early access launch happens this month. So I think Shrapnel could honestly push up towards similar market caps as Big Time. And then once the game goes live, we'll see where it goes from there. So that's definitely one I'm looking for. Let's see. Someone says, how many of you follow the scammer YouTube who told you not to buy Big Time? Well, first and foremost, I wasn't going to buy Big Time at that valuation. But then you look at, the tokenomics long term, I don't think it's sustainable. But at the same time, right now, valuations don't even matter. And once again, if I scammed you by getting a 10x in a month on playable, a 6x on Seedify, if I scammed you on these positions, hey, I think people will enjoy getting scammed. Okay. I think that is something that people will enjoy over time if I keep making them money. So, you're not going to invest in everything. You're not going to catch every pump. It was another. Well, honestly though, I said I'm staying away. My advice was stay away. So I'm not even backing away from that. I was wrong. I was wrong about Big Time for sure. I thought it was scary. I thought the fully diluted was very scary, but at the end of the day, you look at the circulating supply of tokens, it definitely it exceeded my expectations based on the diluted market cap. I can't even lie. So, my man said, don't over explain, you change lives. Hey, but you have to be able to admit when you were wrong, right? I mean, I did back away from Big Time. I didn't buy in. And, honestly, it ripped beyond my expectations. So, what I'm seeing now setting up is Shrapnel could do the similar type of run, just continue to make new highs, continue to push up on that market cap. So that's what I'm looking at there. And I want to give a shout out. I know a lot of people, and I'm not rushing to tell you to buy this today. Honestly, the levels on this for long term are pretty solid. Obviously this chart has been beaten to shreds since the last cycle. But I was up at the event last night for 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗺. And I know a lot of people in this chat always ask me first and foremost if I love 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗺. Honestly, it's my favorite open world experience in all of Web3 by far. Okay. But I was, as you see, I'm playing the Midnight in WIAMI, the racing experience. And this thing was absolutely amazing. Like the graphics, the environment, the cars, the different feels, the acceleration, the braking, the turning, the drifting, the shortcuts, the bridges. This right here, like I have to say, has really, I know like the gameplay looked solid from the outside. But this one right here was, it really was amazing. Bryson was out there with me. Jorge from formerly 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he's now with the gaming strategist. We were all playing it, and like the feedback was phenomenal. So this is definitely one to keep on your radar. I think Midnight in WIAMI will go live sometime early 2024 for people to jump into. So I do think like as far as games go, the quality versus other games, it's there. It's screaming at you. So I definitely do like 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗺 as like a long-term play. But I know what you guys are really looking for today is what should we be looking at for buys? Like, what should we be DCAing into today potentially? Everyone's screaming pullback, which presents opportunities for you as an investor to potentially top up your bags, DCA, and then reap the rewards of that next leg up, because I truly do think that next leg up is coming. It is just a matter of time. So first and foremost, let's just jump into this watch list. For no reason, Shrapnel is down 12% on the day. This one, obviously, we gave this to you at 13 cents on the show, and then we doubled down whenever there was the lawsuit and we told you to buy. So that's still almost a 3x from our original entry. It's over a 2x from the FUD entry, which we gave you guys. Honestly, like if you have been feeling like you missed the boat here, this one pushed up to 44 cents. I definitely still think this is a good buy given what we saw with Big Time. I think this could have a Big Time-esque run. It's still 2x undervalued the circulating and like 4x undervalued the diluted. So I think that there's some room to run there. In the GambleFi niche, Rollbit's taking a beating. Rollbit's taking a beating for no reason. It's down 20% this week. And truly, if this one keeps going down like this, this has to be in your DCA scope. Rollbit's going to be a multi-billion-dollar project in the bull without a doubt. And it's definitely the most steady GambleFi play you can have in your portfolio. Now, is it going to give you another 100x from here like a smaller market cap casino could? No, probably not. If I'm looking at smaller market caps, I'm looking at Winner Protocol. It's been lingering around all-time highs. This is one I'm definitely looking at to continue pushing up. The circulating market cap here is around 20 million at this point in time. The all-time high is 11 cents on Winner Protocol. I truly think it is an undervalued, low market cap casino. They have sports betting on the way. They have the gambling. They have the leverage trading. They have all the makings of a Rollbit, but a much smaller platform. So that's definitely one I'm looking out for. 𝗊𝗏𝗄𝗃, I'm seeing it a lot in the chat. I do think 𝗊𝗃𝗃's is a good play. Like low-ish market cap tokens. I think I'm looking at Winner. I'm looking at 𝗊𝗏𝗄𝗃. I think Katana Inu still has a ton of upside potential. I think Shrapnel's a great buy today. And I'm seeing chats about 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗺. I think it's a good longer-term play. If you're getting into 𝗬𝗺𝗺𝗺, you have to be able to be willing to see out the next bull. That's whenever they're going to have this product fully shipped. They have the open world game. That's where you would look at that. But for today, I'm looking at maybe even topping up your Shrap bag off of this 12% dip. I'm looking at 𝗊𝗏𝗄𝗃. I think that Katana Inu continues its run. Don't buy into that pump, but I do think that it's going to continue to run there. And then otherwise, I think Rollbit's, pretty freaking cheap today, to be completely honest with you. And then just across the market, I'm looking for playable games to eventually get into that price discovery. Try to, break into that 1 cent, shed a zero. That'll be a big landmark, as then, we're going to then be in price discovery, and I think we could find new highs there. I think Dubs is a fantastic GameFi, GambleFi play. So there's a lot out there right now, guys, that I do think are good top-ups to your positions or that are presenting you great opportunities to enter at this point in the market. So I'm going to dive into a couple of sponsor notes really quick, and then we will get in to a few chat questions. So let's dive into it. I want to just give a shout out to Real Fever Organya. You know, they launched their game this month, and they've been running so many consistent tournaments, $500, $1,000. As you see here, $1,500 prize pools. And the December tournaments are about to be announced, and they're going to be some of their biggest tournaments to date is what they have told me. You can create an account in the link down below. You can jump into this game. It is free to play. The NFTs are as cheap as just a few dollars. And as you see here, the grand prize will win $600. This is on December 10th, their 3-star event with 32 maximum participants. And I have to say the economy is looking pretty solid too. If you look at the chart of their burns, just let's see here, Fever burned. I had it up here. Yeah, as you can see here on the 7 days, we see 15 million Fever burned. So this has been a great launch for them. You know, I have to give a shout out. I feel like they were an underrated game by public perspective, and shout out to them. They're obviously a sponsor, and they're doing things right. Like they're burning a lot of tokens in the ecosystem. They're keeping it sustainable. Their player base is super happy. And I think that, when you look at the tournaments, there's just a lot to take a look at inside this ecosystem. So jump into Real Fever down below. You can create an account. This tournament is going live on the 10th. And then Amino Rewards. Shout out to them. Their partnership with San Francisco 49ers, they did open up the 49-day challenge on the app. So if you have the app, it is in the link below as well. You can jump in and you can start participating in the 49-day challenge. If you step for 10,000 steps, 49 straight days, you're going to get a huge boost on your ammo. You're going to get, you're going to be in the running for the top competition. And I think this could even roll into something with a 49ers fan experience. So check out the 49-day challenge in the link down below as well. And then some stuff that's on the way. I saw a comment just now. Someone said, I liked you better when you talked about newer projects. So here's the thing, the newer projects that are just coming out, it's really tough because most of the time the tokenomics aren't great. But in this type of a market, yes, they've been running, and we got you into 𝗬𝗏. We've got you into playable games. We're big fans of 𝗬𝗏. 𝗏𝗏's run quite a bit, but we've covered 𝗏𝗏 for quite a bit of time. There's old projects that are still performing, and there's new projects that are still performing. There are a couple of new projects that I'm really looking ahead to, however. Heroes of Mafia, this one right here. This is one that, I just think has some of the best looking graphics, the animations, the gameplay smooth. I play it on my game, on my app, my app. I play it on my phone. And it is similar to Clash of Clans. There is just different elements, different comprises, the way that the battles are comprised, etc. So I think that, this is one to look out for. Their TGE is going to be in Q1 2024. And I do think this one could also rip very, very hard whenever it does launch. So that's one I'm looking ahead to. And then last but not least, that they are not a sponsor, but it's funny. Someone's like, when I cover new projects, I'm really looking ahead to Heroes of Mafia. That's one that I can't be more excited for. Obviously, Portal is on the way, but I think Portal is going to launch at a super high valuation. So if you're a retail investor that didn't get it on the pre-sale, that's going to be a little tougher to navigate. So we will hop into the chat here in just a second. But also, if you haven't minted your 𝗏𝗏 by owned.gg in the link down below, you can bring it into games like the Mosh Pit tournament, for example. As you see here, the character is in the game and roaming around, getting some kills. So this is definitely one to take a look at. And this is free, so you can sign up in the link down below. All right, let's jump into it. We'll get into some of the chat questions here, and then we'll roll. We're just going to do a couple of minutes today. We did start a little bit late. That is my fault, but I will get as many questions in a 5-minute time span as I can. Okay. Oh, the chat rolls so fast these days. Your thoughts on the game 𝗵𝗺𝗶𝗵𝗺? They used to have a lot of sentiment behind them. I think they could make a comeback, but the game loop is definitely very simple, which I like. I don't know. The competition has ramped up quite a bit. XAI node. Yeah, I actually, you know, I would have got one, but they're like no U.S. citizens, and I'm worried I wouldn't be able to run the thing or whatever the case may be. So, you know, if I can get around it and get my hand on one, I'll find out how. But for now, I had to pass, unfortunately. What about Engine Starter? I think Engine Starter has a good potential. Super pump my super hustle, 20% retrace, buy the red, not financial advice. Well, hey, my friend, Zahid, I truly think that you're going to see higher highs on the local side coming here soon. They have big announcements on the way. That's straight from the source. Any thoughts on Blur? I'm not a big fan of Blur as an investment. AVAX, super bullish. I mean, they have been crushing it this week. Let's go to market cap. I mean, they started the week at $21. They're at $26. I mean, for a market cap like that, that's pretty crazy, to be honest. Do I think PYR is a DCA at the moment? If you're comfortable just investing in, market caps and not price, like we gave PYR at $250 and $3. So it's hard for me to be like, yes, buy. But at the same time, market cap is still undervalued, in my opinion. Bloodloop. Yeah, I'm excited for Bloodloop. I mean, they have all the hype in the world right now. I'm excited to kind of see how that shapes up. Why is DeFi Kingdoms flying all of a sudden? I have no idea. I have no clue. I did see Jewel doing quite well, however. I got IMX Ape Gala Ray. Do you believe all to be 10x coins? Yeah, I think all of those could 10x. Definitely, for sure. I see Thomas. What are my thoughts on Ready Games? Great question. I like Ready Games. I'm trying to do some due diligence, potentially get in on an early round there if possible. But I will definitely report back before it goes live and give you guys the TLDR on everything about the project. Thoughts on Rainmaker? It seems like that they're coming back a little bit. Hustle, have you started using TA tips from Sheldon for levels on these coins, or are you still buying on conviction? Cheers. I mean, I've always looked at like key levels, but never in the regards of like going to the charts, drawing them out. Like I just like to look at the recent local highs, the previous resistance, and where people were selling, where people are taking profits, and then I just kind of judge from there. Like that I don't really do like full blown TA. Let's see, Myria. I'm super bullish on Myria. And like I said, if you guys haven't already, they did change their pricing model on the nodes, so that could be a play if you've missed out on those nodes for the recent time periods. Hustle, are you avoiding talking about USA because it's too small? Yeah, Mark. I mean, the circulating market cap's very small. It's not too small to talk about, but also the dilution, like it's pretty, the diluted is much higher than the circulating. I love USA as a small cap casino play alongside Winner. Those are the two I'm really isolating on the casino side. Playable node or Myria node? Great question. Obviously, if you have the bankroll, I think that both are a good play. And then it just literally naturally DCAs, and you get the perks of the upside of that every single day as it just feeds you tokens. Oh gosh, that is a tough question, Ice Boy. Like, I think they're both really solid options. And as someone with high conviction on both, it's really hard for me to choose there. Let's see. Space Falcon thoughts. I've been seeing that one all over the chat. I'm gonna have to dive into it. Hustle, web-based games was previous cycle thing or still potential? Because PC, Xbox, PlayStation available projects sounds new narrative. Opinion? Yes and no. Like, I think that browser-based games, mobile games, still have a lot of room in this market. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, like once something like Dead Drop or Off the Grid comes out, it's on PlayStation, Xbox, etc., it could really change the narrative for sure. Let's see. The engine starter crowd is out in full today. Yeah, I mean, it did really well. I did call it out on Rand's show yesterday, alongside Game Starter. But yeah, launch pads are doing well. Bully versus Survive Bull. They're building working game, mobile game thoughts. I guess my thoughts are a little tough. Like, I seed invested before the bear market, and then the tokens completely vested out through the bear. And I don't know. It was a tough time during that, but I think most of the tokens are now diluted, like, and in circulation. So it's probably got a lot of upside as long as people have still sentiment around it. Am I bullish on Bytes? Yeah, I am bullish on Bytes, actually. I think that if here's the thing with Bytes, okay? So not everyone can afford a $10,000 S2 or a $30,000 S1 in the ecosystem. So what are they going to resort to have exposure to Neo Tokyo? Bytes. And they do have a launch pad, yes. Chain Guardians, not a huge fan at this point in time. Thoughts on Unix and guilds like GuildFi? I think Unix is a great play, super undervalued by market cap, given the fact that Mirko shared some alpha with us last week. When it comes to guilds, though, I'm really focused on like a Beam. I think Unix does have potential, for example. On a scale of 1 to dead, how hard do you see 𝗊𝗄𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗃 kicking everyone in their livers? Hey, 𝗊𝗄𝗃𝗍𝗄𝗃 is going to do well. I do agree. Oh, gosh. Let's see. When it comes back to selling, when it comes back to selling crypto to put back in the bank, the only way is through exchanges. Is that safe? I only trust Coinbase. Coinbase is the only reputable place, in my opinion, that you can trust. Would I buy Beam now? I'd let it cool off. It has done nothing but green over the last week. As fun, moving in the right direction. Absolutely, it is. Thomas, I mentioned I do like Ready Games. Bonk, I'm staying away. Magic Mashto, if we buy your Nexus NFT, will we be receiving your alpha earlier than the YouTube vids? We don't front run. We don't do anything like that in either of my groups. I'm very transparent about what I hold, when I get into things, but it is not like hey guys, here's what we're talking about on today's video. That's definitely not what we're about. But TTOO is the alpha community. Nexus is more of the access and software launchpad community. Scale, good project. Good project. I like Decimated. I'm just trying to roll through as many as possible, guys. But be sure to like the video and subscribe. We do this 3-4 times a week. We chat about the markets. We get into everything regarding crypto gaming. We give you the biggest plays. We're giving you some of the biggest gains in the market across gaming YouTube at this moment in time. So if you enjoy the shows here, like the video and subscribe. And I'm going to be back most likely tomorrow with another video to cap off the week. So guys, I will chat with y'all then. As always, play well, my friends.